Let us study the brachial plexus in a very simple way. You can see the roots, trunks, division, cords and branches of the brachial plexus. So if you start from the root, look at the roots. If you look at the root carefully, you can see the roots are like the roots of a tree which forms a trunk. So C5, C6 forms a superior trunk, C7 root forms a middle and C8, T1 root forms the inferior trunk. So this is how the roots forms the trunk. So if you can imagine the alphabet Y here, Y, I, Y, you can see how these trunks are formed. So you can ask, somebody asks you a question on brachial plexus and if you answer Y, I, Y. So that you can make out the roots from that and how the trunks are formed, superior, middle and inferior trunk. Now trunks divide. So now all the posterior divisions of the trunk joins to form the posterior cord. As you can see here, the posterior cord is here. All the trunk divides to form the posterior cord. Why? The posterior cord will take care of all the muscles of the posterior part of the arm, forearm and the palm. So now you can see the proximal part of the posterior part is supplied by the axillary nerve and distal it goes all the way down to your palm. So that is the radial. So this is the major nerve supplying the proximal, that's axillary, and the distal part, that's the radial. Now that is all about the posterior aspect. Now what about the anterior aspect? Anterior aspect, understand that anterior aspect there are two cords, that is lateral cord and medial cord. So this lateral cord and medial cord, first of all, they will combine to form one of the nerve called median nerve. As the nerve implies median, that means it is in the center, just like a median of a road. So median is always seen in the center. So the contribution of lateral and medial cord will form the median nerve. So before talking about that, I would like to tell how this lateral cord and medial cord are formed per se. As I told you, the trunk, the posterior divisions of the trunk together form the posterior cord. The anterior divisions of the trunk, of the superior and middle trunk will join to form the lateral cord. And the anterior division of the inferior trunk will continue as the medial cord. Why this is? Because lateral cord has a majority of innervations of the muscles coming distally are from the lateral cord. So this is why the lateral cord get a better contribution from the anterior divisions of superior and middle trunk, while the medial cord is actually a continuation of the inferior, the anterior branch of the inferior cord. Thank you.